Hello, everyone, and welcome to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and this is the review of Iron Lung, the science fiction horror film written and directed by Mark Fischbach, commonly known as Markiplier on YouTube. This is his feature film debut, and this is a film that follows a convict named Simon who is forced to pilot a submarine through a desolate moon's ocean of blood after an event known as the Quiet Rapture caused the majority of humanity and all stars to disappear without warning. This is based off of a video game that I had no clue existed. And to be fair, I didn't know who Markiplier was. I did not know. I didn't know anything about none of this. I found out about this about a month ago when a friend of mine told me about it. Oh man, I'm getting tickets to Iron Lung. I'm like, what is that? because because I like to toot my own horn and say I'm a movie fanatic. You know, I do host a movie review podcast, so I should be in the know. But I didn't know anything about it. So he started running it down, what this film was about, what the game was about, and then he started running down who Markiplier was, because I asked him, who is that? So we went through this whole hour-long dissertation about the history of the game and Markiplier. And so I was like, okay, you have my curiosity. Let me know how it turns out. It sounded interesting, but it was nothing that I said, okay, I'm going to run out to the theater to go check out at the end of the month, because at the time it was literally the first of the year when he told me about it. And I was like, okay, just let me know. And so as we got closer to the date, I started hearing a little bit more about Iron Lung, and I was like, okay, more people know about this. And then it dropped. It dropped on January the 30th. It took the world by storm, I should say. It really blew up at the box office to the point where it opened at number one. And my friend came back to me first day Monday and was like, "Oh, did you check it out?" I know. I wanted to hear from you first. You know, what did you think? And he gave his opinion, and of course it was positive and really hyped me up for it. But I was already kind of leaning towards going to see the film because of the reception at the box office. And so when he gave his stamp of approval and pretty much put a gun to my head and told me to go see it because he wants to talk about it with me, I was like, okay, I'll find time. I'll find time. And so the next day he asked, "Oh, did you go check it?" No, no. I said, I'm gonna go check it out. I promise. No, you need to go because we really need. So I finally went and checked it out. I went ahead, checked it out, and I agree with everybody. I agree with everybody else. This was a good movie. You know, one of the things that kind of deterred me from going to see the film is when I saw the runtime. I said, okay, it's over 2 hours long. Why would I want to sit there? And I'm getting older now. Well, let's scratch that. I'm older now, and my time is very, very precious. And so, me sitting in the theater for over 2 hours to watch a man in a submarine and nothing else, it didn't really drive me to the theater. But I went and rolled the dice and I won. I think this was a winner. This was a well put together film. Uh, Markiplier, he should really, really, and this isn't, blowing smoke because of all the success that has already had in his early release. It's only been about 4 or 5 days since it's been out, but this really was a tour de force. This was a good movie, well put together film. You can tell that it was a lot of love and passion and care that went into this horror film. This deep, disturbing horror film that isn't your prototypical horror film. You know, it's not. Oh, I'm not gonna say it's not bloody because it's a lot of blood in it, but it's not, uh, bloody for gore's sake. It's part of the lure of the game. And I did do some research going into this. I didn't go in completely blind. I did do some research on the game and found out what it was all about and what, what's the big brouhaha over this game and why it had to be adapted into a film. Because there's so many video games that I can name about 5 of them that hasn't received a theatrical or live action adaptation yet. This did. So I was curious. So I did do the research on the game, and the game is interesting, but nothing that I would want to buy or play. This is not my bag, but it is an interesting sounding game. After watching this film, I want to play the game. That's one of the best things about this is this film makes you want to play the game. I want to see how this works, man. Uh, uh, Being inside this submarine, and the only way you can see because this submarine is in an ocean of blood. You can't see through blood, so the only way you can see is through these pictures. You got to take pictures with this special camera using radiation that you can see through the blood, and that's how the game works. And I knew that going in, so I was curious on how would they do this on film. How can Markiplier apply this into the film and make it work? He did. He made it work. Can he keep my attention for 2 hours with it just him in this confined space for 2 hours? Can he keep my interest? Can he keep my attention in my eyes glued to the screen? He did. He made it work. I am so impressed with this movie. I'm seriously blown away on how well crafted this film is. And it really kind of tears the veil of Hollywood. When you see these $100 million budgeted movies, $200 million budgeted movies, and you really don't see that money on the screen, and you look at a film like this that only was made for $3 million, $3 million, and it looks great. It looks amazing. It was shot so well. And once again, you're in this confined little submarine. And we're not talking the Hunt for Red October submarine. We're not talking U-571. This is a small little closet. Well, that's not even fair. That's an insult to closets. It's so small, but it felt like a big submarine. It's only big enough for one person to maneuver in. And the way he placed the camera, the way this movie was shot, the cinematography just brought a different element to it. It isn't just lockdown camera angles and close-ups and all this. It really told a story visually that, man, just I don't know how he pulled it off. I really don't. I mean, I've seen seasoned award-winning directors unable to pull off simpler tasks. it's mind-boggling to me. It just goes to show you how much talent is within people. And that's not to say that, I questioned Markiplier's talent. Like I said before, I didn't know anything about him. I don't watch his YouTube channel or anything like that. So I didn't know anything about him and what he did. My daughter did when I told her about it. When I told her I was going to watch it, and her eyes lit up. She was like, "Oh yeah, Markiplier," and I'm like, "Oh, you know him?" She was like, "You don't?" He's the most popular guy on YouTube. I'm like, he is. It just goes to show you how oblivious I am to the surrounding world. But in any event, this film is awesome. It is really awesome. Really good time. I can honestly see myself rewatching this film over and over again. It's something that I did not put on my bingo card for 2026. Now, I do have one issue with the movie, and it was towards the middle. And it was it was like a 5 or 10 minute little section of the film that I felt didn't need to be there. Once we got to the end of the movie, I thought back on that scene or a couple of scenes. I was like, but he didn't need to put this in here. The movie was long enough. It didn't make the movie drag or anything. Just plot wise, it just didn't really get there with me. Now I'm saying that, and I never played the game. I don't know if that part is an element of the game. And so if that's what it is, okay, cool. But for the layman, for those of us who don't know anything about the game, I felt it was unnecessary. Now, but with that being said, the rest of the movie flowed perfectly. It was the perfect tone, perfectly paced. Uh, the 2 hours, it don't even feel like it was 2 hours. It felt like an hour. It felt like it flew by. That's how well the story flowed. Iron Lung gets a letter grade of a B+. Yeah, I thought this was really, really good, man. Really, really good. This was earned. I know that it was dumped at the end of January, and it made its money, and a lot of people probably would say, "Oh yeah, it's only because the time of the year it went up against Melania. Of course, it was going to win." But no, I don't think that was the case. I think that this film is that good. It's really that good, and it deserves all of the accolades that it is getting right now. Congratulations to Markiplier on the success of Iron Lung. I would like to know, did you enjoy Iron Lung? Did you play the games? And what did you think of this film? Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also search for the show and comment on all social media platforms. Just search for the KB Radio Network. Also, don't forget about the KB Radio Network channel on YouTube, where you can please subscribe to the channel, like this video, as well as comment there as well. Don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, and sharing this show if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you are currently listening to the concession stand here on the KB Radio Network. Everybody, thank you for joining me for this review of Iron Lung. Want you all to know that I love you, continue to love everyone, and until we speak again, you all be blessed.